All right. What is going on, everybody? Let me pull the chat up on my phone real quick. Florida. Let's see. I'm gonna try to pull the chat on my phone. Come on. I don't even know how to find my own live stream. How bad is that? There we go. Boom. All right. What is up, everybody? Teal Nation Podcast. Alex Beach, Sin, Giovanni, Evan, Jevin Gaming, Jacob Turnage, Nate Frazier, Duval Till I Die. What is up, man? David Bryan, always in the building. AJ Saucy, Jay Keeling, Rodney Terrell, R.A. Lacrosse, Jags Martin, K. Gilling. What is going on, everybody? We've already quickly got a lot of people in here. Let's see, 45 people. So let's go ahead and get into this, man. The Jaguars. Actually, I guess the NFL unveiled all the schedules going out this year, and amongst those teams is our favorite team, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's always kind of a cool time. I mean, the NFL schedule always keeps us pretty busy with different things going on. I mean, you know, you go from the Super Bowl, then you go into the offseason, and you quickly have combines, free agency, NFL draft. You know, that was just a couple weeks ago, and then now, what is it, 2 weeks after the NFL draft, we unveiled the schedule. So this is cool, man. So we got a lot of people in here. So let's go ahead and go over the schedule, man. A couple of things before I go into it. It's one thing that's interesting about the schedule, and you can see the schedule. Let me pull up my stream so I can actually see it. The schedule is all right here in case you guys want to look at it. I straight up borrowed it from Generation Jaguar. Kind of took it from them, but it's cool. It's cool. So first thing is interesting. Week 1 and Week 17, we play the Colts both weeks. So it's going to be 16 weeks in between the first time we played the Colts in Week 1 and the second time in Week 17. Last time we played the Colts, I mean, it looked like we were playing polar opposite teams because like the first time we played them, I think it was Nick Foles' first start, and you know he played bad. There were two 100-yard rushers with Hines and Marlon Mack, and then we played them again in Week 17, and it was like the Jaguars blew them out. It was their first double-digit win of the season, and it was pretty. I mean, it's crazy, like the difference in the teams that were out there. And big shout out to James Hilburn for joining the Big Cat level. Welcome to the membership, man. I'll go ahead and plug that in case you guys don't know. But, I do offer memberships for the channel now. It's basically, you get all kinds of different perks, like, just member-only videos. You guys get different cool emojis that you guys get to throw out here. Different levels get you different. Then eventually, I will say I'm going to be introducing some, like, call-in shows. So this kind of stuff will help you get to the beginning of the queue, if that makes sense. But I'll go ahead and go back into that. But big welcome to James Hilborn for joining. And, oh, look at that little guy. What the hell is that thing? All right, I'm hiding that. Boom. But, yeah, like, it's interesting. We play the Colts Week 1 and Week 17. I don't remember the last time something like that has happened. Also, there's only 2 times this year do we have non-1 o'clock games. Week 3, Monday or Thursday night football against the Dolphins, and also it looks like 8 against the Chargers because that's going to be a West Coast game. So that one is a 4:05 game. Big shout out to Zachary Olson for the $2 donation. He's also a member of the channel, so thanks so much for the donation. So yeah, 2 non-1 o'clock games, and I didn't even write this down, but we only have one primetime game, and that's the regular Thursday night football game. So, I didn't expect we were going to get a Sunday night football game. I didn't expect we were going to get a Monday night football game. It's just not how it works out for the Jaguars. So, another thing is that there are no London games this year. Obviously, that got announced earlier this year with all the latest pandemic going on. Obviously, they're going to try to limit off season or like over international traveling, and that's just one of the first things to drop. I mean, we'll see what happens when it comes to actual attendance at games. I mean, the NFL has a long time to prepare for this something that the NBA didn't get to do, MLB didn't get to do, obviously NCAA basketball didn't get to do. So it's interesting. So I hope I think there's going to be an NFL season. If fans don't show up to games, that's fine. I don't care. I'll watch games on TV, if they're at practice facilities, whatever. I need an NFL season in my life. I need fantasy football. I need Jaguars football, as depressing as that might be sometimes. Let me raise myself up. Never mind. I'll keep myself like that. And so I guess to go over the schedule before I get into it kind of game by game, this is probably redundant for people that have been following my channel for a while, but I do a lot of my videos and stuff like that like it's someone's first time watching my videos. So basically, every NFL team, like the Jaguars this year, like we play 16 games, okay? And there are, of those 16 games, 6 games are against your division. So we play each team in the AFC South twice. So that makes up 6 of the games. You play 2 different divisions, the whole entire division. One in the AFC, one in the NFC. This year we play the AFC North and the NFC North. So we play teams like, the Steelers, Ravens, Browns, Bengals, and we also play the Packers, Lions, on all those teams, the Bears, the Vikings, all in the NFC North. So those are 8 games. If you combine what I've said first, and then those games, that's 14 games. Now the last 2 games are almost like wild card games. Like you play other AFC opponents, but you play them in the divisions that you haven't. I guess I'll say this: the Jaguars, they play the AFC North, and they're going to play one team from the AFC East and one team from the AFC West. And it's all based on your standing in your division. So the Jaguars finished 4th in the AFC South in 2019. So they are going to play the team that finished 4th in the AFC West and the AFC East. So we play the Chargers out of the AFC West, and we play the Chargers every single year somehow. And we also play the Dolphins in the AFC East. They also finished 4th place. So that's kind of how the scheduling works. Now, with all that said, man, let's get into this. Week 1 versus the Colts. That's going to be a 1 o'clock game at home. It's going to be extremely hot. I don't know how the Jaguars, they always seem to get week 1 at home at 1 o'clock, and it's always just scorching hot. I remember going to Green Bay at home week 1 week. I remember, just last year going to the Chiefs game week 1, and it is blazing hot. So it's a divisional opponent. We'll see how the Colts are this year. Really, me with the AFC South, I think it's going to be a pretty competitive division. And, I think most of the teams are going to be above average with like the Titans, Colts, and the Texans. I mean, we'll see what happens with the Jaguars. But at the same time, we don't have any kind of powerhouse in the AFC South. We don't have the Chiefs. We don't have, even the Ravens, I guess you can call a powerhouse, even though they're, haven't really done a consistency. They're a pretty damn good team. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be competitive. Like, I could see the division shaken out in so many different ways. So that's kind of, so we'll see. We'll kind of see what the, with the AFC South. The Colts actually, Teal Town brings up a good point. The Colts haven't beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville since 2014, which is pretty remarkable. And obviously we took it, in week 17, we played the Colts and we beat them by double digits. So, we always, as bad as we play against, the Texans and Titans, we actually do play pretty well, in the Colts, or against the Colts in the division. So, we'll see. So week 2, we have another AFC South game at the Tennessee Titans. That's going to be in Nissan Stadium, a 1 o'clock game. So you can see quickly 2 AFC South games, 2 divisional games right to start off the year. So, I mean, gotta get at least 1-1 after those games. I mean, the easiest way to the playoffs is to beat teams in your division. So, we got to find a way to take down at least one of these teams and move on to 1-1. If we fall to 2-2, overall and in the division, it's tough to really get out of that, especially with some of the games that we have coming up. But then coming up, week 3, it's a Thursday night football game against the Dolphins. First of all, I have to say, thank God this isn't the Tennessee Titans. It seems like every year our Thursday night football game is against the Titans. And every time I think of Thursday night football against the Titans, I always think of those horrid those color rush, the Star Trek looking mustard ones versus the light blue. Even though we haven't done that in like 3 years, but it seems like it's always a sloppy game. I mean, the Jaguars played them week 3 last year on Thursday night football, and we actually beat up on them, but it just seems like the game is always ugly, and it's always pretty one-sided. And we pretty much destroyed Marcus Mariota that game, and the defense showed out, and I think it was actually Jalen Ramsey's last game as a Jaguar, so that he was actually in uniform as a Jaguar. So this one's against Miami. I'm excited to see Miami this year. They did pretty well to end off the season last year, and now they have Tua Tagovailoa in there. I would imagine he's going to be starting this game. I don't see why you wouldn't. So, the Dolphins, I'm excited to play them Thursday Night Football. Maybe we unveil for the very first time teal on teal. We'll kind of see what we do there, but a very winnable game. Definitely a very winnable game. And if I'm a team, I would probably, because Thursday night football games, I don't know if you guys know this, but players hate Thursday night football games. They hate how, they play a game Sunday, then 4 days later, about 96 hours later, boom, you are playing another game. They don't like that because they need their body to recover. But I mean, if I look at it, if I'm a player, week 3 is probably the best time to do it because your body isn't extremely beat up. You play them, week 3, then you have kind of a mini bye week because about 10 days goes by before you play another game. But at the end of the day, man, players shouldn't be too mad about it because they ultimately get a lot of money out of it. I mean, the Thursday night football deal, it's pretty lucrative. So I don't see Thursday night football games going anywhere. So next up, we have week 4 at the Cincinnati Bengals. Back-to-back teams that are going to be featuring new quarterbacks. So we're probably going to go from Tua to Joe Burrow. Obviously, the Bengals were the worst team in the NFL last year. They were one of 16. What did the Jaguars do? 6-10 last year. 5-11. 6-10 last year. The Bengals were one of the teams that the Jaguars beat. They beat them in Cincinnati. We go back to Cincinnati again. Ironically enough, the Yannick Ngakoue kind of won us that Bengals game with a strip sack. I think he had like an interception or something. He had like a pick 6 that game, and it really sealed off the victory for that game. So, an easier looking 2-game stretch, even though it's hard to call any of these games easy because you never know what they're going to be coming up next year. It's just super hard to predict. 4 on 4 off. What up, man? What's up, Maverick? What's up, Jason Martineau? Got a bunch of people in the house. Thank you guys all so much for joining. So we are 4 games into the schedule. Definitely an easier part of the schedule. And then we move on to play the Houston Texans in Houston. We've been swept back-to-back years by Houston, and playing in Houston has not been very favorable. Obviously, we haven't beat them since 2017, which was our, which was one of the most magical years as a Jaguar fan. Definitely the most magical Jag season since I've been, a real passionate fan, being the 26-year-old person that I am. Didn't really get to live through it as much with in the 90s. So, playing Texans, that's going to be tough. David Bryan, shout out to David Bryan with the $5 donation. He says, Gardner Minshew bobblehead coming soon. Yeah, David sent me on Twitter earlier let me see if I can put it in the chat, but they're making some Gardner Minshew, Tiger King type of bobbleheads. So, let me see, copy link. Let me see if I can drop this down below so you guys can kind of look at it. I think that's it. Oh, I can't paste it. Whatever. If you want to post it, David, you can. But yeah, man, thank you so much for the $5 donation. He's a part of the Big Cat tier. But did you guys know that they're actually making a Tiger King series, an actual TV show? It looks like Nicolas Cage is going to be playing the Tiger King guy. We'll see how that goes. It's got to launch off quickly because obviously Tiger King is a big thing right now. So yeah, like I was saying, we're playing at Houston. The only thing that scares me about Houston is Deshaun Watson. Obviously, Deshaun Watson is like by far the best quarterback in the AFC South, and he's really been carrying that team. But I don't know. Bill O'Brien seems desperate sometimes with some of his roster moves. I mean, he's a guy that he gave up 2 first-round picks for Laramie Tunsil. Basically gave up to David Clowney almost for free, and he also gave up. He basically did a trade for trade. He gave up a second-round pick. And DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson, a pretty expensive running back he's pretty washed up. He's got he's been getting injured a lot of the past few seasons. He had one really magical year where he had over 1,000 rushing yards, over 1,000 receiving yards, and he hasn't been the same since. So, but as long as the Texans, they remind me of the Seahawks. They're a team that their roster may not be all that great, but like as long as they have like their quarterback in Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson, I think they're always going to be competitive. So, we'll see. Pranoff says, "Why did you take down the 2017 Texans rant vid? That vid was funny." I took it down. I don't know. I don't know. I was just kind of drunk, and I look back on it, and it's extremely embarrassing, honestly. But I went off after that game, just talking a bunch of. It's a lot of them is because I have a lot of Texans fans that follow my channel, and they were just talking so much shit to me about that game, and then afterwards, I'm like, "Hey, how about that?" Like. It was an awesome game. We got like 5 or 6. No, we got 10 sacks that game. And, Fournette got 100 rushing yards. And then I don't think Blake Bortles actually turned the ball over. And it was just such a cool, clean game from a disastrous preseason. That 2017 preseason was horrible. Snoop Dogg wants me to say, Duval, let's go. All right, so at Texans, 1 o'clock, yeah, week 5. Now we move on to week 6. Versus the Lions as a home game. I usually try to go to the NFC games just because it's new. I mean, like with NFC teams, like the Lions only come to Jacksonville once every 8 years. So, I mean, this could be the last time you really get to see Matthew Stafford. Probably the last time Matthew Stafford played. Actually, I forget how long, but he's probably played in Jacksonville once. Not including when he was at Georgia playing in the Florida-Georgia game. But, yeah, man. Jonathan White, what's up, man? Jack Fin 85 when a hurricane hit after the Texans game. Yeah. Yeah, that was true. The Texans game, like, that game happened and then the hurricane blew right through Orlando. It was pretty crazy. So, the Lions, we'll see how they do. I mean, they surprised me in the draft when they got DeAndre Swift after they had that Auburn running back. I forget his name, Kerryon Johnson. So, they're a team that we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know how I feel about the mad scientist as a head coach over there. But we'll see what they have to do, and we'll see what they bring over to here. This first 6-game stretch really does not look that tough, man. We can easily walk out of here 3-3. Dolphins, Bengals, Lions, those are all very winnable games. So week 7 is the bye, so the bye comes a little bit early. So, usually we do week 8, so. But yeah, Jason Martin says, drop the likes. Let's go, man. Drop the likes. So, let's go to the next game. Week 8 at Chargers. So, the first 7 games, we will very likely be playing 3 rookie quarterbacks with Tua, with Joe Burrow, and then now Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's definitely my least favorite out of those. I get a little nervous about those guys that just, these strong arm guys that sling the ball all around. I don't know how I feel about that, and it just doesn't look like Justin Herbert's football IQ is really all that there. He doesn't seem extremely football savvy. But we'll see what he has to bring over there. The Chargers are always such a tough team to project what they're going to do. I mean, they always seem to underperform a lot of times, but usually we are horrible against the Chargers. But no, other than that, we're just horrible against Phillip Rivers. I think we've only beat Phillip Rivers once. Phillip Rivers just destroyed us last year in Jacksonville. I think it was like week 16. It was just a horrible game. So maybe we have a little bit different luck with Justin Herbert back there. This is a 4:05 game. It's going to be in Los Angeles in the new stadium. that the Rams are going to be building. So this could be an interesting game to go to because they're out of that little soccer stadium. So yeah, the Chargers, they actually also went up and got Murray, the linebacker out of Oklahoma. So they had 2 first-round picks last year. All right, so moving on, we have the Texans again at home. I kind of went over the Texans earlier. Bill O'Brien kind of self-destructing that team. Really, it's going to be tough for them, man. Like, because Deshaun Watson is on a rookie deal right now, and a lot of times you really had to capture greatness in a team while one of these star quarterbacks is still on their rookie contract because they're cheap labor. It allows you to spend money in all different other places, and that's why hopefully Gardner Minshew plays great, because after this year we're gonna have Gardner Minshew for 2 more years under a cheap contract, and you got to take advantage of a quarterback on a cheap contract, and really Deshaun Watson. He'll be on his last year of his contract. Of course, he has the 5th-year option coming up. So, yeah, Jonathan, you're right. That's how, the Rams did it. The Rams made their run with Jared Goff in their rookie contract. Jared Goff gets paid a lot of money, and next thing you can't pay guys like, Clay Matthews. You got to, trade guys away. And, their roster right now, yikes. I mean, they get rid of Gurley. Eric Weddle retired. They had to trade off Brandon Cooks, even though Brandon Cooks didn't do a lot over there. But yeah, man, it's you look at the Chiefs too. The Chiefs just won the Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes is still on a rookie contract. They can afford to pay guys like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Frank Clark. But once these guys, once they get rid of it, once they get on their second contract, it's a lot harder to build a true winner. Yeah, Carson Wentz with the Eagles. That's another thing. Their run. I think he was still on his rookie contract. So yeah. But yeah, Jonathan, we did fleece the Rams for Jalen Ramsey. I mean, 2 first-round picks. That's a hell of a haul, and they might not be that good this year. They might, with that division that the Rams playing. That's another thing. I need to do another video going over the Rams schedule, because we are all big fans of whoever the hell the Rams are playing, because the better the worse they are, the better our first round draft pick. And they could easily be drafting in the top 5 when you look at their schedule. I mean, first of all, I think they're in the toughest division in the NFL, the NFC West, because, you have the 49ers returning from the Super Bowl. You have the Seahawks, who basically, you can write them down for 10-6 every season. They always manage to slip into the playoffs with a 6th seed. And, you also have the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray going into his 2nd year. You've got, they got DeAndre Hopkins in there now, so they got a decent receiving core. They just drafted Josh Jones, I think, in the 2nd or 3rd round. They brought in Isaiah Simmons on a defense. I mean, they're going to be pretty decent this year. So, we'll see what the Rams do. So, this pull for them to lose, man. Everyone's talking about us, tanking for Trevor. Maybe the Rams will do that for us. Maybe they'll get the number 1 overall pick. But hey, man, huge shout out to Ratchet Reigns for the $20 donation. He says, should Cam be the backup? Cam Newton will not accept a backup position. I mean, that's just his stance. I mean, he wants to go somewhere and be the starter. When I look at it, I think he might wait a little bit. He might wait for a training camp to start, and maybe even into the season a little bit to see, what happens at these different quarterback positions. Does a player tear his ACL in the preseason, and then they have to bring in Cam as an emergency? Cam Newton, I mean, a lot of people say that, they want him to, be a mentor to Gardner Minshew. I don't know if he fits well in that role. And I don't know, just with the Jaguars this year, I'm almost in a position of I'm in a position where I want to see what we have out of Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is a huge unknown, and figure out what we have in Gardner Minshew in 2020. I say this a lot. I don't think the Jaguars are going to be good in 2020, and a lot of people hate that I say that. A lot of people want me to be more positive, but here's the thing, I don't think that I'm not gonna pump sunshine. I'm not gonna be Mr. Positivity. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how I feel. I'm gonna give you guys my complete, honest thoughts. And I think it would be ungenuine to tell you guys that, I feel one way, but not think that way. You know what I mean? I don't think the Jaguars are going to be good. I think we're going to be 5-11, 6-10. But 2020 is all about figuring out what we have in this roster. Like, is Gardner Minshew the answer at quarterback? Did some of our draft picks, what did we get out of our 2020 NFL draft? Boom, did we really hit on defensive tackle Devon Hamilton? Did we hit on our 2 first-round picks, but maybe Chenault did not do that well in his rookie year, so we still have to address the wide receiver position? We have a lot of money to spend in 2021, a lot of money to spend, and we have 2 more draft picks in 2021, along with even the Rams' 4th-round pick too. So we have a lot of draft capital also. So we'll see, and that's just my opinion. Like, I wouldn't be mad about signing Cam, and also I see, Hunter Miller says Cam said he would accept a backup role today. And huge shout out to Hunter Miller, $25, man. That is extremely generous. He's also a member of the channel and also Ratchet Reigns. Thank you guys for your donations, man. It really means a lot to me. But yeah, I didn't see that. Cam said that he's going to be a backup, but obviously, I don't know. We'll see. But I wouldn't be mad if we signed Cam Newton. It just doesn't look like the Jaguar thing to do, And I think Cam Newton, he's going to sign a 1-year deal somewhere. And hell, maybe in 2021 we really reevaluate things. And hell, maybe even Aaron Rodgers is available for trade in 2021. Looking at what they did with trading up to get Jordan Love. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll see with all that. Jay says, UCF, you're inspirational. Thank you. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if Cam Newton will really put us over the top. And, we'll see where Cam Newton's at. I mean, like, where he was in 2019, it was not good, man. The guy was extremely skinny. Like, he's not the big guy that he used to be. He had all kinds of injuries with his shoulder. He didn't have the same zip on the ball. He just wasn't the same, like, Superman, running over people Cam Newton. And maybe that part of his career is past him, where he's going to be the running guy, and maybe he needs to rely on being more of a traditional pocket passer. Predator says 2020 is a wild card year for us, in my opinion, but 2021, woo baby, we could be stacked with the next 2 first-round picks, especially our draft class this year. But yeah, I always say I just think that 2021, I think that will really be a year where we can be good. But, I say a lot that the Jaguars, they could be good in 2020. Like, a lot of things had to go their way. Like, first of all, our 2020 draft class has to be able to contribute right away. And the positions that we drafted, they will be able to do that. I mean, our first 4 draft picks, we got a plug-and-play cornerback 1 in C.J. Henderson. Then second round, you get Chason. I still need to figure out how to say his first name, but we got Chason, who is obviously defensive end, outside linebacker, rotational guy. He's gonna get plenty of opportunities to make impact. And then in the second round we get Laviska Shenault. He's gonna get wide receiver play. You're always rotating wide receivers in and out. And then in the third round, Devon Hamilton. You're rotating defensive tackles in and out. So it's not like we drafted like a quarterback round 1 and then like a left tackle in the second round where he has to sit behind Cam Robinson for a little bit. I mean, we got immediate impact players. Thank you, Kenny. Kalavon Chason, yeah. Apostrophes, I don't know. The name, I get really tripped up by names a lot if you guys don't know, but I don't know. Like, so we have to have the rookie class play really well. Another factor is we can't get injured. We have to stay healthy. And really the big thing about this season really is Minshew. What are we going to get out of Minshew? Is he going to take that next step that, you dream about a rookie quarterback taking in year 2? Or is he a guy that, is held up a little bit by his arm strength? Is he a guy that still has a fumbling issue? Like, what will happen? I mean, at this point, I'm just going to sit back and, see what we have out of Gardner Minshew. I really liked what I saw out of him in 2020, and I think that he has definitely deserved the right to get another chance in 2020. I mean, he did so well last year with with an offense that was not built around him. That was Nick Foles' offense. They had to change it over to, I mean, hell, even against the Chiefs, man, that was Nick Foles' offense. Gardner Minshew got no starting reps that week. And then he goes in there and completes his first, 15 or 16 passes. He had a 90% completion percentage. It was crazy. But yeah, I've gone off track. I don't even remember what game we're on. Oh yeah, Week 9 versus Texans. So we're about we're about halfway through it. The rest of these games are 1:00 games. So the next game is Week 10 at Green Bay. This is probably the toughest game on the schedule so far. This is going to be November 15th. So it could be very, very cold this game. Luckily, it's not in December, or else it would probably definitely be snowing. But this game is, in Green Bay. Green Bay obviously came off the NFC Championship game. A lot of people did not like their draft. I mean, in a team that with them and Aaron Rodgers still playing pretty good football, you would have thought they'd go out there and get, a wide receiver or someone that can really contribute right away. But, they trade away draft capital to move up and get and get Jordan Love. So I don't know. It's it'll be interesting to see what the Packers do, but they're still going to be a really good team. You can't really count them out of that. So I don't know. So moving on, that's probably the toughest game on the roster or that I've gone through so far. All right, Week 11 versus the Steelers. The Steelers are always a fun game. This is a home game. Steelers are always a fun team because we always play pretty competitive against the Steelers, and obviously 2017 was awesome when we swept them twice. 2018 came and we were horrible. But we still almost beat them. You know what I mean? We still almost beat them in 2018, even though Blake Bortles that might have been one of the worst games I've seen out of Blake Bortles' career, and that's saying a lot. That was actually the game where I completely jumped off the Blake Bortles bandwagon. I stopped sticking up for him. I stopped making excuses for him. I said, all right, he sucks. But yeah, Steelers, it's a fun game, man. I'll be looking forward to this one. That one's at home. So, and I did see someone say, how many games am I going to? I try to go to at least 5 or 6 games a year. Obviously, it's like a 2.5 hour drive for me because I live in Orlando. Usually, I don't go to a game in week 17 or 15 when they're out of playoff contention, and I'm just tired of wasting my day driving all the way up there. But I don't know. I try to go to at least 75% of the games, and now there's 8 games in Jacksonville, so maybe I'll make it to 5 or 6. We'll see. After the Steelers, we have the Browns. Another home game. So we'll see what we got out of the Browns. I mean, the Browns were really the sweetheart team in 2019 after getting Odell Beckham Jr. and Kareem Hunt. Obviously, they kind of fell short of expectations. I think they were 7-9 or something like that. But they have a new head coach in there. They have who is their head coach now? I forget who. Someone help me out. Who's their head coach now? But that one dude was a one and done. The chubby guy, the guy that they, I don't know why I can't think of names or whatever. Oh yeah, Kevin Stefanski. Yeah. He was the offense coordinator of the Vikings, so he moves on as a head coach over there. So next up. At the Vikings, speaking of Stefanski, we're playing his old team, the Vikings. So that's in Minnesota. It'll be cold there, but luckily they're playing in a dome, so it won't be really cold at all. But with this one, I mean, it'll be a tough team. I mean, the Vikings, they're consistently a good team. You know what I mean? They're consistently doing good. They may not make the playoffs one year, but they'll still be 9-7. So this will be a tough game for us, but. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see what we have that game. But yeah, I mean, we're about to go into the last quarter of the schedule. I'll go ahead and plug a few things, man. If you guys haven't already heard, I do have memberships for the channel. I've had an awesome response to it, man. You can join different levels for different perks. It's a lot of fun, and there's different levels. Of course, this is a no pressure kind of thing. If you don't have the money for it, I mean, definitely don't join. But, if you want to donate $3, $5, $10 a month, you can do that with memberships. And you also get, exclusive perks, member only videos, all that stuff. Also, you guys can purchase UCF Jaguar t-shirts in the description box down below. And also, if you guys aren't already, man, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I'm very active on both of those things. Jason Martineau, he can drop the link to my Discord down below. I'm trying to be more active in it. I still don't really know how to work Discord very well, but I kind of keep it out there for you guys, so you guys can always throw out questions, whatever, and I'll do my best to kind of answer them. Jake said, "Hey UCF, did you actually pick a winner for the Browns-Jags matchup?" Yeah, with this, I know a lot of people like doing it, but I hate the exercise of going through the schedule and determining who's going to win this game, who's going to win that game, because you don't know what the roster is going to look like. Because, for example, last year, I think week 5 or 6, we played the Carolina Panthers. With that game, it was like, okay, I look at it now, okay, Cam Newton versus Nick Foles. This will be so interesting. But then you go to the game, and it's Gardner Minshew versus Kyle Allen. You know what I mean? A few years ago, it was the same thing. We thought it was going to be, when we played the Redskins, Blake Bortles versus Alex Smith. But no, it's Josh Johnson versus Cody Kessler. So I'm not big on that exercise. Maybe like before the season starts, I'll go through and assign us a win-loss, even though it's not going to be that fun because I don't think the Jaguars are going to be that good. I think that they're probably going to go 5-11, 6-10. Just kind of my thoughts, but not to be super negative, but that's just how I feel. So next up, we play at home versus the Titans, week 14. That is December 13th. So, boom. Titans. Hopefully we can sweep them. I'm so glad we got the monkey off our back with them last year. We were getting swept by them, but then we finally beat them on Thursday night. Gardner Minshew, that was really his first statement game. He went in there and balled out, threw 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter. I'm not all that intimidated by the Titans. I think they should have learned a lesson from the Jaguars in 2017, and that is not to pay a game manager quarterback that has been below average his whole career too big money, and they did that. There was a team that Derrick Henry carried them. And then in the AFC Championship game, when they needed to be bailed out by Tannehill, he just couldn't do it. So yeah, that happened there. We'll see what happens with the Titans. Week 15 at the Ravens. This will be another tough game. Calais Campbell revenge game, I guess. So Lamar Jackson. And that's one thing, man. Like, I probably should have said this before, but, we drafted K'Lavon Chaisson in, in this year's draft. And one trend that you notice is the Jaguars have always been really bad at being able to play well against mobile quarterbacks, whether it be, Deshaun Watson or, coming up Lamar Jackson. They've just never been good against that. And you see who's everybody's catching up to in the division, and that is Deshaun Watson. And a lot of times you draft players to be able to beat other teams in your division. I think K'Lavon Chaisson is going to really help us out when it comes to, defending against, these mobile quarterbacks. So that's one thing to look out for, man. Against the Ravens, maybe Chaisson has a big game that game. Predator says Derrick Henry is scary, but I see Christian McCaffrey in my nightmares. Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, I mean, I'm not a big guy about drafting running backs in the first round, but Christian McCaffrey is almost worth it because he does everything. He helps out every asset of the game, man. Ronnie Terrell says Henry's from Yulee. Yeah, man, Henry is a Yulee boy. You know what I mean? And it sucks how he went to the Titans, but, it happens. But yeah, man, let's see how many people we have in here. We have 135 people watching, man. If you guys haven't already, man, be sure to drop a like on the video. Subscribe to me. I'm sure all you guys are subscribed to me, but, if you're in here, but you never know. So, next up, after the Ravens, Week 16, home against the Bears, our last home game. Oh, man, I really hope this is Nick Foles versus Gardner Minshew. I really hope. You never know what's going to happen with the Bears at the QB position. Maybe I could see it being a situation where Nick Foles starts, he gets hurt, then they put in Mitch Trubisky. Then Mitch Trubisky sucks. Nick Foles is back from injury. Then Nick Foles sucks. They put back. I think there's going to be at least 3 quarterback changes for the Bears next year. I mean, they're a mess. I mean, you can't feel confident about Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky going into that year when you got When you got Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins in their divisions, you can't feel good about that. And then last, week 17, we play in Indianapolis against the Colts. Colts were a team that we ended off against them in 2019. We beat them by double-digit points, and then now we're moving back over to, Indianapolis to play them in their house this time. So, yeah, man, that's the 2020 schedule. No London games. We're playing the AFC North and the NFC North. It's gonna be cool, man. Like I'm always excited for it. I think some games I'm most excited for are some of the games playing the rookie quarterbacks. I love seeing rookie quarterbacks play. Dolphins, Bengals, Chargers. We play 3 rookie quarterbacks in our first 7 games, so that's going to be really cool. I think Dolphins Thursday night is going to be fun. I think I'm really excited about that because, we're finally not playing the Titans on Thursday night, and I think the Dolphins, I think it's going to be a really competitive game. Steelers I'm excited about. It's a cool schedule, man. Lately I've been trying to go to at least one away game every year. I'll see what I go to this year. Maybe I go to Houston, maybe even LA for the Chargers game. Definitely not Packers or Vikings. I don't really want to go to the cold weather. So we'll see. If you're going to go to a away game, I recommend going to it for the first quarter of the season. Because outside of that, you don't want to pre-plan a trip for week 16 to go somewhere, if the Jaguars aren't going to be good. So yeah. But yeah, I'll probably be on here for another 5-10 minutes. I don't know if you guys want to throw me some questions. I'll go ahead and answer them. JagFan85 says, who are we supposed to play in London? I heard rumors that it was going to be either the Lions, we're going to play 2 games over there. So it's going to be probably the Lions and the Browns. Those games we're going to go over there, which when you look at it, who cares about those games? But it's still unreal to me that the Jaguars are really only going to play 6 games in Jacksonville. That's just absolutely depressing. Predator says, I might come down from Texas to watch the Lions game. And he threw in the Gardner Minshew emoji. I love it. That dude, Evan, what's the favorite game you went to last year? My favorite game was definitely the Broncos game. It was in Denver. It was a game where Minshew just was going crazy in the pocket. He threw the play of the year, that throw to Reichwell Armstead after evading all that pressure. That game was just so much fun. I was talking a lot of trash to Broncos fans. It was fun being able to explore, Denver and stuff like that. It was just, it was amazing. Big shout out to Noah Nooner. He says, AUCF. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Boom. He says, hey, AUCF, I was born in Jacksonville in 2001. Live in Southern California. I've been a fan ever since, and the Jags-Chargers game will be my first NFL game. Love your videos, bro. Hey, man, I appreciate that. I've actually, Southern California, I've been to Southern California once. I went to San Diego. It was really cool out there. So, yeah, man, maybe I go to that Chargers game. Maybe I'll see you there, man. But that's awesome, man. Appreciate the $5 donation. Appreciate you watching my videos, man. And thank you to everybody for watching my videos, man. I probably don't say that enough, but, I don't get to talk Jaguars as many people in Orlando. So it's, it's a really cool thing for you guys to be able to come in these live streams and, talk football with me. It's, it's really awesome. I love it. And Graven, what's up, man? He says, I remember when you put the video up on you talking trash and Broncos when you were leaving the game. Yes. Oh my gosh. There was it's funny that you remind me. At the end of I was talking all this trash to this Broncos fan down my aisle the whole entire game. And then as he was leaving, I was I purposely, as he walked in front of me, I was like, this is our house. This is our house. I was saying that to my dad and my brother. And he's like, no, it's not. He's like, how many Super Bowl rings do you have? And then he asked, he goes, at least our quarterback isn't Gardner Minshew. And I'm like, first, am I still on? Am I still on, guys? Am I good? Offline. Am I back on? Let me know. All right, cool. But yeah, it was one of those things. Like I was sitting there in my seats. I was like, please make it. I just want to like go off on this guy, and I knew if he missed it, he would go off on me. And then boom, he made it, and I was so excited. But honestly, like I gotta watch myself when I go to these away games. I talk a lot of trash, and you know, I went to the Giants game in New York. I was talking a lot of trash that game, and you know, leaving the game, I was telling all the Giants fans, I'm like, thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for coming by. Like I was telling Giants fans that in MetLife. And then I went to the Chiefs game in 2018 in Kansas City. I went there with the Sports Fury. There was really not much of a chance for me to talk trash there. It was very frustrating. The Jags got their butts whooped. But I mean, it was a cool experience going to Arrowhead. Arrowhead is a really big stadium, man. Old stadium. Nicholas says, I'm a huge Dolphins fan, but I love your videos. Hey, man, appreciate you watching, man. Let's see. Hey, Predator with a $5 donation. He says, I'm the only Jaguar fan I know, so the streams and videos are always a highlight of my day. Love the content. As always, the member-only videos are great. Thank you, man. Yeah, Predator's one of, I think he's in the Big Cat. Let me see. Predator is in, oh no, he's one of the Cubs, but yeah, he's in the $3 membership group, and yeah, man, I post member-only content on there, so you can, if you guys want to join a membership, the links are down below, and I'll be posting more videos, man. I got, my first video was basically I was talking about the most interesting Jags game I went to. Not interesting when it comes to like the game being played, like like the Seahawks or the Bills. It was more like the experience that happened to me while at a Jaguar game. It was something that it was unexplainable. So if you're a member, you can definitely do that. And I'm gonna do Jags related videos and just more like personal videos. Like I'll probably make a video about like my favorite my favorite TV shows and stuff like that. So there's a few different things. Hey, and Prater just upgraded to the Big Cat level. I see you. I think the zombie's about to show up over here. But hey, man, appreciate the $5 donation, and I appreciate the upgrade on the membership. Quaylon Jones, I'm a Jags fan. To who were you more excited about, the Jags draft, Blaine Gabbert or Blake Bortles? Well, my channel name is UCF Jaguar. I was a sophomore at UCF when the Jaguars drafted Blake Bortles, so I was extremely excited when the Jaguars drafted Blake Bortles. That was like, oh my God, I was so excited. I went crazy. And I mean, anytime you draft a quarterback from your favorite school, you're going to be excited. So, yeah, definitely that more. But yeah, man, there you go, Predator. There's your shout out. And that's one of the emojis. I got the big black dude with, it's like the thing that you send to your friends where it's like, it's got the link to, and they open the link and it's like the big black dude with the big old dick. I don't know. It's kind of funny looking. Martin says our schedule isn't too bad actually. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to I don't know. It's hard to. I mean, before the season, it's hard to kind of look at this and see if it's gonna be good or not because some teams are going to flop and some teams are going to be a lot better than we really expect. Jags Martin says I was at UCF the year after Dante Culpepper. Man, Dante Culpepper, he was another big UCF alum. David Bryan throwing in all the emojis. I love it. Snoop Dogg says Fournette is Fournette a top 10 running back? I don't think so. Like Fournette, I mean, he's definitely a good running back. He's definitely above average, but like he gets a lot of carries and he gets a lot of volume and it just drives me nuts. He misses a lot of holes. Like so many times, he should be running through this hole, but he goes there instead and he doesn't get much yards. He's allowed us to not move the chains a lot on third and short. A lot of times we blame the offensive line, and it's easy to do that. But, also, Fournette is partially responsible. And, I just don't think he makes enough guys miss, man. Like, you see Fred Taylor, he would cut and do these different things. I just don't see him being elusive enough. I mean, I wouldn't mind signing him to another contract. I just got to see I don't know. It just depends. I would rather be a guy that drafts a running back, gives him 3-4 years of a lot of carries, then moves on and drafts the next running back. unless you really get an elite guy like what Fred Taylor was, or what they have in like Ezekiel Elliott, I'm not gonna be a big fan of getting these guys and you know like getting these guys and paying them big money. I'd rather draft guys in the second, third round and running them for 4 years. That's just my thoughts though. And yeah, Snoop Dogg, hindsight is always 2020. We should not have drafted McCaffrey. We should have drafted Patrick Mahomes, but I said that enough in my videos. David Bryan says, OJ Sauer, Justin Blackmon, and now Telvin Smith joined the so-called Wall of Shame. Yeah, that's true. And Charlie's family just upgraded to the big cat level. We are getting a lot of upgrades. Thank you so much, Charlie's family. I think he lives up in British Columbia. So, hey, man, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Mike says, go over the schedule. Well, what this is going to do, this is going to archive this video or this stream, and then later on you can go watch the whole entire schedule breakdown. Right now I got over 100 people in here, so I'm just, talking some football, answering some questions. It's not every day where I set up the green screen and, I go live on here. So, but yeah, and if you want to hear the schedule, you can just go back to the very beginning and do that. Oh no, Charlie's family's in North Carolina. Little bit. It's kind of far away from British Columbia. Never mind. But hey, appreciate. Oh yeah, you went to the Panthers game last year, right? Roy says, which is more concerning for you this season, Minshew or the defense with all the new guys? Probably the defense. I still really worry about our run defense. We did not really do a lot, I don't think, to shore that up. We signed some cheap veterans like Al Woods and like Rodney Gunter. And we brought in like Devon Hamilton in the third round. Joe Schobert has been kind of more known for being more of a, pass coverage guy. But I don't know. I probably worry about the defense. I worry about a lot of things, honestly. Like I said, I think the team's going to be 5-11, 6-10 in my honest opinion. I'm going to go into every game hoping to win, and I'm not going to go into this season and be like, oh, we're going to suck. I don't look forward to it. I'm going to be amped up. I'm going to be rooting my ass off for the Jaguars every game. I'll be live streaming as many games as I can over here. But yeah. So yeah, it's good. And Kenny says, I love the backdrop. Thought the ping pong table was gone, though. It is gone. The ping pong tables are out of here. And if you look, there's some really old names back here, but this is honestly the best picture of the Jaguars locker room that I could find. So let's just pretend the ping pong table isn't here. How about that? Lacrosse is on a scale of 1 to 10. How happy would you be if the Jags end up going 16? Oh my God. 2017, that season, I have never been more just happy and excited about a football year in my life. That just gave me so much happiness. I cannot imagine being 16-0, and I can't imagine a day where we win a Super Bowl. I think the day is going to come one day in my life. I don't know, maybe if you're in your 70s or 80s, maybe you might not ever see it, but I'm 26 years old right now. I've got, at least 50 more years on this earth. The Jaguars have to win at least one Super Bowl in that span, right? And I can't imagine the craziness, how elated I would be if the Jaguars were just a powerhouse like that. It'd be amazing. Bruss says it took Kansas City 50 years. Yeah, man, I got 50 more years. All I want in my life, I just want one Super Bowl. I want one Super Bowl, and it'd be nice to even have maybe 8 years straight of winning seasons. Sustainable success is just extremely good. Runaway says DJ Chark going for 10 touchdowns at 1,500 yards. Yeah, man, we'll see. David says, name one player on both offense and defense that are on the hot seat. Of getting cut, Jared Wilson's on the hot seat, especially with Daniel Thomas in here. He can knock him off. Offense, Cam Robinson. We brought in Ben Barch. Cam Robinson's on a contract year. He's kind of a put up or shut up kind of thing. It could be a case where, halfway through the season, we want to play Ben Barch and we just move on from Cam Robinson. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. Henry says, wide receiver room going to be a strong unit. Yeah, I'm excited about it, man. Noah says, one Super Bowl dub and I will be happy. That's what I'm saying, man. Just give me one Super Bowl win. Ugh, I'll be so happy. Harrison says, thoughts of Chason. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the way Jaguars use Chason, man. Like, he can get after the passer. He can drop back in coverage well, so that's gonna help him get more snaps. Being able to drop back in coverage a lot, and I mean he can do a lot. He's even pretty powerful. He can even help out in the run game pretty well. So, he's gonna be a fun piece for Todd Wash to hopefully not waste. And I really can't wait to see it. Aaron says, how many touchdowns for Minshew? 27. We'll see. Quaylon says, do you think we need Cam Newton? I don't know. Not my thing. I wouldn't go. I just want to see what we have in Minshew. Charlie's family, my favorite thing is when we do raids on live. Yeah, that's fun. Halftime doing raid. Like when I say, everyone go to this channel and say UCF Jaguar raid, and they're in there like, UCF Jaguar raid. Oh, what's up, man? It's pretty cool. And it's a cool way to kind of, share the love with other. Let me see if like any. I'm gonna check something real quick. See if any of the homies are live. Nah, dude. Right now, nobody, none of my subscribers, none of the people I'm subscribed to, are live. It's pretty sad. Actually, let me go back. Let me look. Boom. No, it doesn't look like it. All right, back to regularly scheduled programming. Ronnie says, what are your thoughts on 3-4? I can't wait to see it, man. It'll be cool. And I think really drafting Chason and Josh Allen, I think those guys project better in a 3-4 defense. And when you draft guys in the first round, you generally want to build your defense around those guys. So, they pretty much change the identity of that. Bacon Boy, what's up, man? Brandon says, I hope to have Jan next year and our D will be amazing. Yeah. I don't think he's going to be back, though. Harrison says, I'm from UK. American football has so much going on. Is Aaron Lynch going to be good this way, the D? He's just a depth signing. I mean, when you sign a guy several weeks after, free agency to kind of a cheap deal, I don't have really that high expectations for him, but, I'd imagine he'd probably make the roster at the very, as, a last depth piece kind of guy. But yeah, man, I'm probably about to end the live stream here. I don't even know how long I've been live, but it's been good. It's been fun. I've enjoyed kind of previewing the schedule with us. I'll give some last second shout out. Shout out to Teal Town, Jared Davis, Jimmy Popcorn, Noah. Shout out to you, man, with a $5 donation. David, Brian, and Charlie's family, both members of the channel. Charlie's family upgraded to the Big Cat level. Kenny Williams, Lario Davis, Runaway Circus Train, Aaron Murray. Former Georgia Bulldog in the house. Kyle Durbin, Henry Smith, Monye, Snoop Dogg is out of here. Jason Martineau dropped the Discord. Yeah, man, just check the links down below, man. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. And all that stuff. And also, if you guys want to purchase a t-shirt, that's down below too. Clint Taylor, you're the one from British Columbia. I mentioned somebody earlier and I got mixed up. But yeah. But alright, guys. Thank you guys for watching, man. And I will catch you guys in my next